On today's episode of the Klepcx Show, we're going to talk a little bit about Twisted Metal. Do you love it? Do you not? Saw is back. That's right, Saw 10 or X. I'm not even sure. Loki Season 2 dropped a trailer. I'm super excited for that. I just saw Strays. Talk to Me. Stephen Amell is in hot water. So much more on the Klepcx Show. You know it's time to talk about it. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Klepcx FM, brought to you by WeAreCritics.com, a place where we talk about movies, television, and pop culture. And if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you hit that subscribe key and that notification bell so you can be up to speed about everything that we talk about here today. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Klep Napier, and of course, I got my guy to my left, as always, Miggs. How you doing, bro?
I'm great, Klep. How are you today?
I'm good, man. Another week.
Here we are.
Another week, more topics, good things to talk about. And of course, we can't be here without the lovely Jelly on my right here. She's in the building.
Hello.
How you doing, Jelly?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, you ready to dive into some craziness that's going on in the week?
Let's get them going.
And of course, none of this would even be possible if I didn't have my man, the voice of God in the background, Mr. Wait by himself. Amell is in the building.
Wepa to the gente.
Comic Crusade is always here in the building with us. We love
Shot.
him. So, though, listen, you know how we always start this thing. I want to know right now, this is a TV, movie, television show. What are we watching right now? Jelly, what are you watching right now?
I just finished The Hunters.
Hunters.
Yeah.
Hunters. That's what with Al Pacino? No?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Hunters,
it's almost like
yeah.
this misfit group. I think
Yeah.
it's out in the 70s, based in the 70s, and they're hunting Nazis.
Yeah.
And I just finished it, though. I think it's like done. I don't think it's coming
It was
back.
2 seasons.
Two
now.
seasons.
Yeah.
And at the end, I don't know if you guys really care if I...
I do.
Okay, I'm not going to say nothing.
It's been on my queue
It's
for a
good,
long
though.
time.
It's good. It has its twists and turns. Definitely got me. I was really engaged while watching it. But I think you guys will enjoy it.
So Hunters. Where's Hunters? Let them know where they can find Hunters.
Prime and Paramount.
What's on both?
Yeah, because I
Oh.
think it allowed me to watch like the 2 episodes, and then I went to
Yeah,
Paramount.
you always she be finding
Yeah,
them like that. How you
yeah.
be finding them
It's
like
annoying. Prime. I started digging in Prime, so I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this looks good, and they're like, yeah, you can watch 1 episode. I'm like, what the
that?
hell?
That's how you
Yeah.
found Lioness too, right?
Yes.
You saw
Yep.
1 episode and then that's so weird.
Yep.
So yeah, Hunters. I remember when Hunters first was coming out. I had got it early. It was one of those ones that I didn't watch, and then by the time I remembered what it was already a season 2 coming out.
Right.
So I didn't even bother going to it, but that's good. So you're saying it is good. All right.
Yeah, I
mean, it's
enjoyed
got Pacino in it.
Yeah, Pacino, man.
What about you, Miggs? What are you watching right now?
Well, you guys put me on to Hijack. So I
That's
went
right.
and made my way through Apple TV's Hijack with Idris Elba.
Mhm.
Great
Ooh,
show.
yeah.
It's all done now, so check it out. And Twisted Metal on Peacock.
Twisted
You know,
Metal.
I get, they increase their pricing. I need to get my money's worth.
Twisted Metal. Speaking of Twisted Metal, because I started that last week and I wanted to talk about it, and I totally slipped my mind because I didn't put it in the notes. But how are you feeling about Twisted Metal? Like, did you finish it? Or
I finished it.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's like 30, 40-minute episodes.
Yeah.
There's,
Oh,
I want to
okay.
say 10 of them.
Yeah, it was 10.
So it was a pretty quick watch,
I got to, like watching it wise, I probably got to like 3 episodes. And then it was background noise for a while.
Right.
The first episode had me immediately. I was digging what was going on. It was a little weird for me to see Anthony Mackie in that role, the way he is. Like, he's coming off like
It's
he's
very
like
silly in it.
Yeah, like, no, but he's like trying to be like Jack Burton charming.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
90s Will Smith, I've heard people describe him as.
Nah, I see him more like trying to be like a Jack Burton from like Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay.
Where he's like the witty misfit type of hero.
Yeah. He's
Mm.
Spider-Man.
No,
Always got something to say, though. That's like,
I feel
he's
you,
a motor
I feel you.
mouth,
Yeah. So it took some getting used to, but I was liking the colors of it. I like the energy and the like. I thought it was very different. You haven't checked it out yet?
I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is interesting because I used to Anthony Mackie in a serious role too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, this is like comedy. So I'm like, I want to check it out and see if I enjoy it or not.
Yeah, there's definitely a Zombieland vibe to it. And because the premise is just so ridiculous, this car combat thing, they were able to really just spread the, do whatever they wanted to do with it. It's cool.
What I did like is they did like like they created a story because
Yeah.
from what I've told, I've never played the video game,
Mhm.
but I know what it was. And
Yeah.
from what I was told by Mayhem, he said that there was no underlying story, but the way that they tell the story and make this world make sense, I like.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, that's kind of dope. Like
Mhm.
how they have like these delivery
Yeah.
guys that are out in the wastelands and they're not allowed to come into the new
The
worlds.
cities, yeah.
The new worlds and
Unless
so,
when she gives him an opportunity.
Yeah,
like, if
yeah,
you deliver
yeah.
this, like, I'll...
yeah. So
Okay.
I thought that was pretty cool. So I am excited and I want to finish this. I'm going to finish it, but everybody's beating me. Everyone's getting me.
And I do want to say though, for fans of the source material, we'll get there. You know what I mean? Like,
I heard that.
we'll get there. So
I heard
you're
that.
gonna get that. So don't get discouraged. If this show gets picked up, who knows?
I don't think it's
But-
going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, they're not paying for everything. Like Peacock's paying, Sony's paying for it, Universal's paying for it. So they're splitting the cost. So we'll see. Hopefully, it works out. It ended in a great place. So we're gonna see some classic characters next season if we get it.
Classic. So we haven't seen the classic one.
No,
yet.
we haven't seen
So
anybody.
it is going into a second season.
I think it will.
Not.
I
They
think it
haven't
will.
made that announcement, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like the premise of the source material we don't really see on this season.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean? Like we'll get there, because at the end of the day, like Twisted Metal is kind of like Mortal Kombat for cars. You know what I'm saying? There's
okay.
a
Okay.
tournament.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a tournament, and
Okay.
and that's where we're heading. So
Oh, okay.
no spoilers. Sorry.
So outside, so we've been.
Well, it
watching
gives me a
Twisted
better
Metal.
idea though,
Mhm.
despite it just being him a delivery guy
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff and getting caught up in situations. But I'm
I think
I'm
it was.
looking forward
I
to
just think it was an overall great gateway for those who didn't know the source
Right.
material.
right.
Like, and that's tough to do. Like a lot of times, people,
Of course.
But I just really liked.
And
how-
it makes sense the way they did it. Because
Yeah.
if you think about it, the last Twisted Metal game was 10 years ago. So there's not many of us that like started with the first, you know what I mean? The first
Mhm.
iteration. So you can't like just go hard body on the classic characters because like who cares about these people? They were around almost 30 years ago, right? Like
Mhm.
so you gotta introduce them slowly, and that's what we got. Like that's why we didn't get like they didn't play all their cards on this season.
Oh, okay. So
That's
they got
crazy.
more to
Yeah.
give. They got more to
Yeah.
give.
I thought
a
they
whole
did.
lot,
I
a whole
thought-
lot.
I thought they did, but again, I don't know the source material, so it's good to hear that.
I know. I
It's
had
good
to look at a
forward to.
review, and they were like breaking it down how they use the mall that's in the game and some other stuff and
Yeah.
characters. So I was like, oh, okay. They're kind of trying to stick to
Yeah.
the roots of it.
So of course, like you guys, like I had a pretty busy week.
Yeah.
I'm watching a lot of things. One of the things in particular I got the chance to see was something from my own hometown. There was a documentary that
yeah.
was done. Shout out to my man Kaz. He did this brilliant documentary about the history of hip hop in my city that I grew up in. I know a lot of you guys wouldn't care about it because you're not from my city, but for those people who are, shout out to all of you. It was a beautiful evening. Wortown Rising was the name of the documentary, which is, we call our city Worcester, Massachusetts,
Mhm.
Wortown. There's a big story behind that too, but nobody ever believes my version of the story. But I'll tell you one day. But yeah, I had a really great time, reconnecting with old friends and just it was like a screening they did at the
Yeah.
JMac building in our city, and it was
It
pretty
looked
cool.
awesome. It looked like a lot of people went too.
A lot of people came out. A lot of people came out, showed love. It was like I said, it was like a family reunion. It was.
That's awesome.
I was seeing people I hadn't seen since I was like 21, maybe
Wow.
like 17.
That's
It's
what's up.
crazy. It was
So are
wild.
they doing a movie for it? Like not a movie, but like are they gonna have the full version of it out?
Well, they played
I
the
would
whole
love
version.
to
They
see
played the
it.
whole version.
Yeah.
I just don't know what their plans are beyond the premiere.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna, release it, on streaming. I don't know if they're gonna put it in. Someone approached me because they know I'm the movie guy, and they asked me how can they get it in the theaters,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to reach out and give them that whole spiel, but
yeah.
it is possible though. They can get it played in the theater.
I would
if they
love
wanna
to
do
see
that.
it.
No, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. My only gripe with it was that it felt a little long,
Mm-hmm.
but otherwise it was beautifully done.
Yeah.
It
I saw the trailers, too, on
immediately when you watch it, it's gonna pull you in.
Yeah.
Like I was pulled in immediately. I was like, wow, it doesn't feel indie. It
Mhm.
doesn't feel like Joe Schmo down the block got a camera and just went and talked to his friends.
Right.
It really feels like a Hulu, Netflix kind of
Oh,
documentary.
good.
Like, and that's my praise for that thing. It
Was-
just was a little long for me. It could be chopped a little bit. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe even like a 4-part series.
Oh, okay.
Like
okay,
put
yeah.
it like a 4-part series or something like that. Because it's 2 hours.
Oh,
It was
wow.
2 hours.
Yeah.
You feel
That
you'll
is
feel
long.
the 2 hours in it, especially if you don't really know. Like if you're not connected to it, it's kind of hard to like sit through something like that. But other than that, it was done. The edits are crazy.
Dan
Like,
was behind it.
No,
No?
this was my man Kaz. My man
The
Kaz.
whole thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
that's
did,
what's
he
up.
did. He did most of it himself. Dan's in it,
Yeah,
but
saw
I
him.
don't. You guys don't know what we're talking about. But let's move on. Besides that, I had a chance to see a couple of movies that.
Let us know.
So the first one I saw is already out. It's a brilliant horror movie by A24. We love
Oh,
these
yeah,
guys.
yeah,
Yes.
A24. I call them A+24 because
Yep.
they always.
Not,
They
not
always
always,
pass.
apparently. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. They have their ups and downs.
Yes.
But talk to me.
Yes.
That's the name of the film. It's a horror movie that, listen, people have been raving about it throughout
She looks
conventions,
so
creepy.
cons.
I've been excited about it. Yeah.
Listen, I got a story to tell. So, San Diego Comic-Con happened. We were supposed to be there. I had the opportunity to not only screen this film before it came out, but also talk to the entire cast.
Oh, wow.
And they had to take it off the table because of the strike.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's been on my list. I'm like, I want to see this. I want to see this. I want to see this. And then I finally see it, and
Yeah,
It takes you there.
That's what's up.
Ooh.
It's listen. There's some dry moments. There's some,
Yeah.
like every horror movie. It's not the best movie in the world, but when it gets to the juice, when it gets to the good stuff, it's worth it. It's
that's
like
what's up.
the premise. Like when it gets to that whole talk to me premise, the game and everything, it will have your attention. And it left me wanting more. Like I could go for a sequel. Like I want
really?
more. I want more of that game
Mm-hmm.
because I think that game is like the best. Don't give me a storyline. I don't even care about the characters. Just kill all the motherfuckers.
Oh.
Just make it interesting how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because you can tell that they're like, it's A24, so they're trying to give it some substance. They're trying to make it a good movie, but it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. Like I didn't care about none of the characters. I just cared when they played that game. I was like, God. Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me. Like when I saw the opening, I was like, whoa. What am I getting?
That's
myself
hooking
into?
you,
I'm
yeah.
like, what am I getting?
That's what's
into?
up.
So I'm just I want to see more of that game, and that's all I care about.
We're all horror
all I
heads,
care
so
about.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that we're highly attracted to. I'm
Yeah.
glad we get good movies at the theaters like that. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, make it streaming soon and
Yeah.
like the masses can get it.
Mm-hmm.
So a second one that I saw, it hasn't come out yet. This is a Universal picture. Stars Will Ferrell, Jamie Foxx. It comes out on the 18th of August. I mean, there's a 16th. On the 16th, you can see like an earlier screening. Fans can buy tickets and go see that. But it officially comes out on August 18th, and it's titled Strays.
Strays.
Yeah.
It's not related to the 2021 comic book, Stray Dogs, if you guys have ever heard of it. I thought, when I first saw the trailer out, I thought it was, because they even use the art. Don't they do
very similar.
Very
familiar,
similar.
And I was like, wow, Tony Freaks done this.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't find out, oh, no, it's not. I'm like, wow, what a missed opportunity.
Facts.
also, if this is successful, goes to show, because again, this is going to be comedy based on the acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw it, but remember, Stray Dogs is a very dark comic book
Yeah,
story
yeah.
about dogs, so that's why it'll break your heart.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
if this is successful, I think then that they could do probably a horror version of this. Basically,
Yeah.
that's what this would be.
So I can't review this movie right now because the embargo is held till August 17th, which is the day before the movie actually comes out. Which I said in my ad review reaction, that's not a good sign.
Right.
Usually when they make you hold your review until the night before,
Oh.
it's usually not a good sign. But I will tell you this: the movie is it was more than what I expected as far as raunchy comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's like, I haven't seen the movie. I've seen the trailers.
Trailer, yeah.
I've had this on my list for a little bit, and it looked like the dog version of Superbad, or is it Good Boys, right? Like the one with the little kids. Like that's the feel of it, and I'm like, you know what? I love me a R-rated comedy, so I was excited for this.
I would put
And
it
we have
more,
Jamie and Will, like.
Right.
I would put it more in the sausage party range.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's not
This
Yo, once the dog got to the house, also the guy opened the door. He's like, "Fuck!" I was like, "Oh, it had me."
Listen,
This is hilarious.
I can't. I mean, I can't. You know, I want to just tell you what to expect. Keep your kids away from this movie.
It's
Yeah.
R-rated
I
comedy,
mean,
man.
From the
Don't-
trailer, though, I wouldn't have my kids.
No,
watching
there were
it.
kids in my screening.
Yeah,
There was like 3 or 4.
they probably
kids.
didn't see the trailer.
That's what I'm saying. They came out and there were kids laughing at stuff. And I'm like, why do you know what this is about? Like, why are you
Oh my
laughing
God.
at this?
It's
Yeah.
a
And
whole
I'm not
new
talking
age,
like,
bro.
no, but gusting laughing over everyone
Yeah.
during the most adult R-rated moments.
We're at a time where the phone is in the hand 24/7.
Oh,
They have
man.
so much access.
They
to
know a
things.
lot,
Like
yeah.
you
As a
really
parent-
have to be like
As
parental
a
control.
parent, I would have snatched my kid out of that place by the throat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even, like, I would have been like, let's get out of here. Like,
Yeah.
none of them left. They
Yeah.
all sat there and just allowed the kid to crack up.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I'm not making. Listen, you may think I'm exaggerating when I tell you that this is a raunchy comedy.
Oh, I believe it.
They even took shrooms.
It's
bro.
nothing. No,
I know,
listen,
right?
that's the least of it. Drug jokes, ha,
Yeah.
ha.
Yeah.
This thing is like,
Well, I know the premise is like, his owner leaves him in the forest, so he's like, his owner is Will Forte,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh, I'm gonna bite his nuts off. Like that's his
Yes,
whole
yes,
goal.
yes.
yo,
That's
listen,
his goal. So like right away, I'm like, okay, that sounds hilarious. I'm gonna watch this.
whatever. I
Yeah,
can't.
don't,
I can't.
I
don't
get
get
what
in trouble
you're
for
saying, though.
us.
Just don't allow
I
the kids
want,
at the theater.
yeah, don't allow the
That's
kids.
it.
You don't want to watch somebody's balls get bit off.
Right.
Listen,
And you know they're gonna make it super graphic
And that's
with
the-
it
and that's
too,
the
right?
They're
least-
already humping
That's the
stones
least
and stuff.
of your
I'm
worries
like,
when it comes to this movie. I'm telling you that right now.
There's like prostitution jokes in the
You might
trailer,
wanna-
like
Wait, but they're dogs. It's dogstitution, isn't it?
prostitution. It's like you ever had an Arabian? It's like what the hell?
I-
Oh no, Afghan.
Yes,
He said,
yes,
you ever
yes.
had
I'm gonna
an
tell you
Afghan?
right.
It's
I'm gonna
like,
tell
I
you
don't
right now.
know.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about this thing because I can't give you too much, and I can't review. But I can't wait to talk about
we're
this
just talking about the
with you all.
trailer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I would not have been surprised if this movie was NC-17.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm sure if it was humans, it probably would have been, right? But since it's like
Was what?
talking dogs, it's
NC-17.
silly. So
NC-17.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that?
You know what NC-17?
Break it down to me. Break it
wow,
down.
yeah.
There might be viewers that don't know what that means.
Okay, for those of you who live under a rock, locked in a door,
Locked in a door.
NC-17 it's like
above
it's,
R,
it's
right?
above R. You know?
Oh.
So you know you
Damn,
can't get in
I
unless
don't know.
you're like above 17. You
Oh.
can't watch it unless you're a grown
Above
up.
or below.
You never
Right.
seen the movie Kids?
No.
That was like one of the
Oh.
first.
Oh.
That was one of the first NC-17 movies to come to the theater
Oh.
In the
What year
90s.
did that come out?
in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
That
Remember,
was
I was
Rosario
born in
Dawson's first
93.
That's
movie.
a rough one.
Yeah, I graduated in '93. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm from.
But yeah,
93,
that
baby.
Strays, guys. Listen, I'm surprised more people aren't really like, because you know the controversies.
But
was
they
gonna
should
sell
know
this
too.
thing.
When it comes to Will Ferrell, I feel like he kind of takes it there.
No,
in the
no.
movies
Listen,
that
this
he
is not
does.
even. This is not even like it's. I can't. Let's go. Let's move
Let's
on.
go.
Like the type of movies he
Don't
takes
get-
on.
Don't get
I
it.
know.
Drop
Sorry,
it.
I'm done. I'm
All
done.
right,
I'm
let's
done.
get into some trailers, right? Because
Yes.
a lot of trailers have been dropping. We got some treats this week. Some really good treats.
We got some stuff.
One of them in particular, I was really excited for.
Okay.
Even though we're in a bit of a Marvel drought right now.
Mm.
Loki season 2.
Okay.
Loki season 2 has dropped.
Yes.
We got more of the story.
That's an awesome poster.
Right.
We got more of the story. We got more of Loki, more of Mobius,
Yeah.
more of Sylvie.
Mm-hmm.
We even got a quick glimpse of Data from Goonies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
always
love
forget-
him.
I can never remember the name. And then we got like 0.0 seconds of Jonathan Majors,
Yep.
like literally.
It was that scene from the teaser
Yeah,
of
yeah.
what
No
was
new
that?
footage. It was
Yeah.
it was from the. What was that post credit scene? That was from Ant-Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or
Ant-Man.
was it Ant-Man?
Yeah,
Because
it
they
was
showed
Ant-Man.
all of him.
Yeah,
Was there
Ant-Man.
two?
There's
there was
two
Yeah.
post
Okay.
credit
Yeah.
scenes. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there was one like later on at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Did this trailer excite you anymore, or are you just like whatever? When it drops, it drops.
Yeah, listen, I've been disappointed. It's been a bad run. I love this stuff, but hey, man, you got to put your best foot forward, and you haven't been doing that. So I watch it, but I'm not. Expectations was low.
You just gave Kevin Feige the Papa Son talk. It's okay, son. Put your best foot forward.
Yeah,
We'll get him next time.
It's been a rough run. It's been a rough
I'm
run.
excited for it. I think I'm low key like, please don't.
You're
fuck
low
up.
key,
Please
low key?
don't
She's
fuck
low
up.
key,
Please,
low
like,
key.
I'm like, and then I'm also like, I know you're like, we haven't been grounded on Earth and stuff, but I'm like, I feel like this one can kind of feel like that, even though we're like in the multiverse somewhere out there.
See, I'm with her because it's not so much that I care that I wanted to just stay grounded. I want the stories to start progressing.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about
We
the
feel stuck.
multiverse or the multiversal saga, and we're not even there yet. So can you give me that?
No,
Like whatchamacallit, Doctor Strange was like,
yeah, and we won't see that for a hot minute.
but that's why we have Loki. We should see that. This
Mhm.
the
the
premise
trailer,
of
yeah, it's all about him time slipping.
No,
You
it's
know
not
what I
time
was-
slipping. So the premise of this one is supposed to be said by the producers that this one is supposed to focus more in multiverse. So he's
Mm.
going to alternate universes versus time.
Yeah, because he's jumping.
Yeah.
You see him jumping.
And about that, did anybody else get Spider-Verse vibes?
I think I read a comment on
I
that.
got Spider-Verse vibes. You didn't? That didn't remind you of the glitching when they're like in a different.
Oh,
Like-
yes.
When I saw that in the trailer, I immediately came to. I was like, "Is that the same thing that's happening in Spider-Verse?"
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What?
No, I now that you're saying it, yeah, I can see that. I
I thought-
he's glitching like
Yeah, I thought
the other spider people were glitching. Yeah, I guess.
I
So.
immediately went to that when I saw that. No one's been talking about it. No one's even like saying it or anything.
Mhm.
Al, you didn't think that when you saw that?
Actually, didn't even watch the trailer yet.
Oh,
Yeah, Al's with me, right? Like you're just over right now what they're presenting to you.
To be honest, yeah, let's see what happens next. And,
Yeah.
the last few shows have not, thrilled with me to say the
Hasn't
least.
hit the
I
mark.
I don't want to hear this.
Right.
I know you don't. I'm sorry. Now we're giving you the talk. I'm sorry,
Right.
Clep, but
Gotta put your
No.
best foot
Gotta
forward.
put your best
They got to do better, man. They got to do better.
No,
gotta
I
put
mean,
your
I'm
best
looking
foot
forward
forward,
to
son.
it, but we've been let down, so it's like.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know.
I'm just that optimistic.
I love that
guy.
we see Loki though. He's one of like our originals from almost day one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I love him.
Do we have a release date?
October 6th.
Okay, so
October
a
6th,
few months, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and around Halloween time, so that's good. And we get it week to week, so we get to let that
6
stretch out.
episodes again, I
Yeah,
imagine.
So we'll go right well into Christmas. They'll probably have a Christmas episode,
Mhm.
just because.
I mean, the last solid thing from Marvel was probably Werewolf by Night.
Oh, that was good. Yeah,
I
that
love
one was
that.
really good.
Werewolf by Night was good, but Werewolf by Night was also contained in its own thing, and it really
And I
wasn't-
loved
It
it
was a
for it.
one-shot.
Yeah,
And
you know
I
what
loved
mean?
it for
Like,
it.
and
But
then-
there's strength in doing a one shot. That's easy.
Yeah.
like they did in the comics.
Do a story. You're
Mhm.
talking about 6-part or 8-part or whatever.
Mhm.
You got to stretch out this thing. It's gonna be fluff.
Yep.
But you got to make it interesting. But unfortunately, everything's been fluff. So
Yeah, true that.
All right, so that's Loki, guys. Loki season 2 is coming October 6th. I'm super excited for it just because I love my stories and I need more of the multiverse. I need to see something that's gonna make me happy. And I get it. It's not what it used to be, and it will never be what it used to be. But as long as they're still making them, I'm showing up.
Mhm.
Next trailer that came out, guys. Listen. This was probably one of the only other horror series that I actually was kind of cool with until they got to like part 7. Once they got to like part 7, I was just like, all right. Actually, when they went to part 3 and the way it ended, I was like, I'm done. Like, because you took away the best part of this series, and now they're cash grabbing right now.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Saw 10, Saw X. I'm not sure what this is.
Yes.
I'm not sure what the one it's X or 10. What is it? Does
I
anybody
thought
know?
he was dead a long time.
So listen,
He
he
is.
did die.
oh,
Yes.
this Twitter.
This is
Yeah,
a
this
prequel
is a
to
prequel.
one of the last movies.
Oh,
So it's a prequel. It takes place between part 1 and 2.
Right. Because remember, he's been
he
dead
was
for a minute.
the whole
dies in
cancer
3.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
or was it cancer or the tumor?
Yeah, he has a tumor.
Yeah.
So this story takes place when he gets diagnosed,
Mhm.
and then this is what throws him over the edge to start his game.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
exploring like his where he can get
Yeah.
healthy again.
Which
Mhm.
which I don't hate. Just the story looks cool. I
Yeah.
love that character Kramer. I love Jigsaw.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. Like they should have never killed him off. I don't know why the hell they did that. And if they were gonna kill him off, I don't know why they continued making more movies.
Yeah.
That was just
Wasn't
weird.
there like a show or something in regards to?
Well, the last something in the Saw universe we saw was
Jigsaw,
no, the one with
Spiral,
with Chris Rock.
Chris Rock,
which was not bad.
And
Yeah.
I dug it.
Not bad, but the
dug
fact
it.
that the Jigsaw character is no longer in the movies, it's
Doesn't
like
make it that interesting
yeah, it's-
anymore.
you know what it
Because he's
reminds
the
me
one
of?
that keeps you on your toes.
it reminds me of when they tried to do the Friday the 13th TV series without Jason.
Yeah.
It's like,
Or
is the
Scream
point?
without Ghostface.
What is the
Yeah.
point?
but I mean, at least there was a Ghostface in that show.
There was a killer. There was no Ghostface.
And then yeah, so Saw 10. I don't even know if it's 10 or X. I think it's 10 because that would be the 10th
Or
one.
Saw Twitter, you know, depending if
Oh,
Elon owns it.
There you go. X gonna give it to you.
Listen, I'm a horror buff. I like Saw, and the best thing about Saw has returned. Therefore, I am there for this movie.
Yeah.
What about you, Jelly?
I'm there for it. I mean, all of them haven't disappointed me. I haven't seen the one
Spiral
with Chris
one?
Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's not
And
bad.
it has randomly has Samuel L. Jackson in it.
It does.
Yeah,
He plays the dad.
which is weird.
Yeah. They're probably the same age.
Yeah, I always thought they were.
Yeah. They're probably not too far apart.
Yeah.
Decent flick. This trailer, like you said, he is the voice of the
Saw.
franchise.
Yeah.
Even when we don't see him, we always hear him.
Hear him.
Even in the movies he's not in, like I'm sure his voice was featured on Spiral.
Mhm.
I'm excited to watch it. We got a preview of some of the traps, right? Some of the games that he's gonna play with
Looks
the new
intense.
cast of characters.
Oh, and let's
They
not
look
forget that
deadly.
little cameo in that trailer.
Who we see?
Oh, you didn't see Amanda?
Oh, at the end, yes,
Amanda.
yes, we see her. So
Shawnee Smith.
yeah. She was the first person.
Oh yeah, at the end.
No,
yeah,
she was in
when
the
took
second
off the
movie,
mask.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in the second movie.
She
That's
was-
when we
She
met
was
her.
the one who was doing all that, right?
For
Like
him.
contributing to
Yeah, and in the second one.
in
You
the
know what I mean?
second one.
So-
Yeah, she was his
So she's still
the
a part
card
of it.
under the sleeve.
Well, no, we're probably gonna get how they met
Yeah.
because
Oh yes,
because
for her to
she
become
shows,
that friend.
she shows up like right in.
Well,
the
her
end of the
background
trailer.
was what she was like
I'm forgetting
the
deep
title.
into drugs, and
Yeah.
he saved her somehow.
So we get to see all of that. So yeah, no, I'm super excited about that. So let's hop onto this next trailer because this one was a new one that dropped like
Yep.
almost hours before we started the show. And I don't know what drew me towards it. It was just so ridiculous and so crazy. And then I saw a cameo in it, and I was like, wait a minute, this is not real. It's real. And I wanted to talk about it because I'm like, yo, where are we going in the industry right now? Because I feel like people are being so blatant. I just came off of Strays, and then I see a trailer. And now we're getting like straight red band trailers where they're just saying whatever they want to say in these trailers in order to market the right way because I guess they don't want to sell it to the wrong person.
Mm.
This show, or this movie, I should say, based on a musical that's real,
Mhm.
that was written by the stars in it. Dix, the musical.
The musical.
Yeah. I've never heard of this musical, and I love musicals, and I've never heard of this musical. I guess I'm just not the demographic for this musical, but I watched the trailer, and immediately my jaw dropped from the dialogue and the music that like they were singing. And like I said, my mind just immediately went back to Strays, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, everybody's obsessed with dick and sex and just throwing it, just saying it, just putting it out there. Like it's wild. It's wild. Is there a market for this? Is this where we're headed? Like I don't even feel like even the marketing in Superbad wasn't that wild.
No, it really wasn't. And like you said, now they go straight for the red band. It wasn't like that. We used to get a regular trailer, green band trailer.
Yeah.
And then later on, if the movie calls for it, we'll get a red band. And you'd be excited actually when you got a red
Yeah,
band
because it was
trailer.
exclusive.
Nowadays it's just like whatever, man. Musicals is not my thing. This is definitely not my thing. I did watch the trailer though, and I hope someone out there enjoys it. Shout out to A24 because they do give
this
us
is an A24.
yeah, they
This
do
is an
give us great
A24.
stories from here to there, and this is not for me, so enjoy.
So I will give you guys the premise before I ask you what you thought of it,
Yeah.
Jelly. So the premise of this thing, right? So it's based on a musical that's written by the two guys that are in the movie, Josh Sharp and Aaron Jackson. and they play
Twin brothers.
They
figure out that they're
reconcile
twins.
twins.
They
Long
think-
lost twins.
It's like
Parent Trap.
Parent
They
Trap.
really-
the
they
parody
They
of
want to
that.
Parent Trap their parents.
it's
They,
like a
they
parody
rip
of
off the premise to Parent Trap, and then but they're grown ups. They're like grown adults.
Grown ass
And then
men.
there's just music in it, and then Megan Thee Stallion shows up in the trailer.
She's
And
the
Megan
boss.
Mullany, right?
She's like the
No,
manager or
Megan,
something
I
like
don't
that.
know her last name.
I don't remember who else was in it. I just
Yeah.
remember Megan Thee Stallion, who seemed like she was doing some pretty decent acting in the beginning, and then she started rapping, and I was just like, I'm good.
It's a musical, Clap. Of course
I
you can.
understand that, but wouldn't it be cool to just like, even though we know you as the musical person, that you maybe do some writing and just chill and do some acting? Like I just, you know what I mean? I don't know. It threw me off. It just got cheesy at that point when I was watching the trailer. But yeah, Dick's the Musical Jelly. What did you think when you saw it? Is this something that you would check out with your friends?
I think I would just watch it at home.
Okay.
I don't know. I had to look at the reviews just to get like an idea of like what.
And of course, I'm gonna have to
What
be
am I
that
watching
guy.
right now? But
You don't have
everybody
to
was
watch it.
I'm
like,
gonna have to be that guy.
everything that you guys pretty much said was in the comments, and I was like, okay. I don't really have a reaction to it because I'm just like, I don't know how to react to it. I don't know.
Yeah, that was initially how I felt.
And
Like,
usually I have reactions to. I'm just like, oh.
I was just like, my jaw dropped because it was like, yo, they're just saying whatever they want now, and the
Mhm.
marketing is like, I understand, you know, for marketing purposes. Like for example, like nobody understood about Strays. They brought the kids there not knowing because they just saw cute little animals.
Right.
But if you had watched that trailer, you would have been like, oh no, I'm not bringing my
It's
kids to
not
see
it.
this. People complain about Barbie when there's nothing compared
I just saw Barbie too.
to Barbie. Like what everything that's in Barbie is rated G compared to what's going on in
Yeah.
Strays.
And
Like,
Dicks.
huh?
And Dicks.
and Dicks, yeah, clearly. So
Yo, yeah.
I'm on the fence. Like I don't honestly think it's going to be a great film. I love musicals.
Mhm.
I don't even probably care to even watch this movie because of its content, but I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, just to see what
just
it's
so I
actually
can tell
about.
the world what I could be
But
surprised.
it did give me that too, the whole Parent Trap parody. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
see what they're
yeah. It's
doing
definitely a
there,
Parent
but I'm
Trap.
just like, okay. Like,
Definitely a Parent Trap trial, and like I said, it may surprise me. I may go in because I saw something recently, but I didn't really want to see it, and I watched it, and I walked out like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool.
Okay.
mhm.
I believe it's Oppenheimer.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't have high hopes for
It
Oppenheimer?
wasn't that I didn't have high hopes. It was that I wasn't in the mindset to watch the movie
Right.
when I watched it because I was supposed to go with Wade, and so I was like, I'm gonna go check this out with him, but he couldn't make it, so I went to go see it, and I was like, well, I gotta watch it, and I walked out, and I was like,
Not bad.
I mean, it was long as hell, but
It's
it was
Chris Nolan,
it was
bro.
still great.
Solid
It was
made.
still great. But yeah, that's Dick's the Musical. You guys, if you're excited to see that, I don't even know when it comes out. I think it comes out sometime at the end of the year. But if you're into that and you want to see that, check it out because it's a wild, wonky, bonkers type of trailer, and don't watch it around your children.
Yeah.
Before we get into the topics, we're gonna take a break. I got Jelly here. She's not gonna talk to you now, but we have something pre-recorded, and Jelly's gonna explain some things to you guys how you can get involved with spreading the word about the cool things that are out there to watch and stream.
Let them know.
So
Yes, put it in the
check out this
comments.
break, and when we come back, we're gonna get into topics. We're gonna talk about Stephen Amell and his big fat mouth and everything that he's talking about. We're gonna talk about some Hollywood A-listers who don't care about what Stephen Amell thinks. They're going to be right there supporting their fellow actors and people who are struggling while they're out there with the picket signs. And also, there's some crazy sale that just happened between a movie studio and a toy company. So when we come back, we're going to talk about that more. Check it out.
Hey fellow critics, I am Jelly and we are CritiX.com had a way to get you involved with the updates that we report in a segment we like to call Stream a Little Stream. You tell us what you watch, are watching, or looking forward to watching, and we will use our platform to keep everyone up to date about what's worth streaming or about to stream. And we will share that on our platform week to week. So head on over to Twitter, follow We Are Critics, and tell us what shows or movies streaming you recommend. After all, it's not about what we like, it's about what you like. I'm Jelly for WeAreCritics.com. Until next time, sweet streams.
Yeah, so again, guys, like we're trying to get everybody involved. So, if there's something out there that you love that you're watching right now, shoot us a message, tag us on Twitter, go to wearecritics.com, contacts, and let us know what you're watching, and we'll put it out there and we'll shout you out and say that you're the one that's watching it and you recommend it so that people can know what you're into as well. All right, guys, let's get into these main topics, right? We all know it's been what? 2 months, 3 months almost?
Yeah, it's moving.
3 months.
Since the writer one.
There's been a strike going on.
Yeah.
The writers were on strike, and then the actors went on strike. And it's been a little quiet lately.
Right.
There hasn't really been a lot of noise about it. People just know what's happening. San Diego Comic-Con almost got shut down. Not completely. It still went on. People still went out and enjoyed their comic books and panels and all that good stuff. But no actors were present, really. No actors did any appearances or talked about anything because of the strike, about residuals and about streaming and about AI and all that good stuff, with good reason. But there are some actors out there who, they don't believe that this thing is worth doing. They don't think it's working.
Yeah.
One of them is Arrow actor and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Michael Bay version, of course, Stephen Amell, who just, recently says he does not support striking. I don't know why he would say this out loud.
Right.
Not in today's climate.
Especially right now.
not in today's climate. There are just some things that you just don't say. And then he tried to backpedal.
He has to. He has to clear things up.
Can he though?
Me and Al, we had a short discussion about this, right? This man right here, he was on Arrow for a long, long time, right? Yeah. He embodied that character, but that's...
You think he's still in character?
No. And that's the issue right there, right? Towards his end of his run, he was kind of bitter that he still had to do it, I feel, you know what I mean? Those are long days for a show that maybe he stopped caring about a long time ago. But now... he's doing a new project, right? He's Heels on Stars, right? This show has been on hiatus for about 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like I said, passion project. They're lucky they got a season 2.
I know. I was shocked.
Do you think this is going to get a season 3?
Not after this.
And not with him unable to promote it? It's killing this show for him. You know what I mean? What is he supposed to say? That I'm willing to let my show die, something that he's probably a huge part of producing. Right. I understand where he's coming from. Should he have said this out loud? Probably not. Probably not. But I get it, dude. I get it. You spent a lot of money. You put a lot of time into something you really wanted to do. If you're not familiar, show Heels. It's a wrestling program.
It's a good show.
It's a great show. But it doesn't get the eyeballs. It doesn't get the attention it probably deserves. And if he can't promote it now when it's I think they're on episode 2 right now, this show's going to die, man. And it sucks because it's a great, great show.
And that's the thing about what people don't understand about the strike. We're supposed to not talk about anything that's coming up. But there are things that are already done that have release dates for this year, that may have release dates for next year, and they can't even drop their 6 months ahead of time trailers. They're 3 months ahead of time trailer 2. They can't even do appearances or go on late. There's no more late night shows. Right. It hasn't been since the strike started. So it's things that people have worked hard on, like Stephen Amell. And this is not, I'm not backing him up on what he said, because there are a lot of people that deserve to have this strike and should have this strike.
Well, we agree why they're going. We are all in consensus. They're doing the right thing by stopping production on these things. It just sucks that they will be some martyrs, right? Some people, their shows will suffer. We've seen it in the past, right? Heroes, it's the great example from the last strike. 24, right? We've had it, but this is, his show is going to be another one of those. Yeah. And he could see it. He could see it, he could see the tea leaves.
That's probably why he's frustrated with the strike.
Yeah. And like I said, his show's we've been waiting almost 2 years for the new season.
Wow.
And with like this man was probably had all this stuff lined up, stuff he was gonna do, right? Because like I see the commercials for it, like the ads have been on like WWE, AEW,
Where it
while
should
they're
be.
right, like because if you can't get that fan base, you're not gonna get nobody else to watch
Right.
a wrestling show, like a drama about wrestling. This man was probably gonna be featured on one of those promotions.
He was probably gonna show up on.
He's
wrestling.
done it before.
Yeah.
Can't do it now. That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And I'm going to ask you in a second, Joey, but I have a question for you because I've noticed, I didn't even think about it. Wrestling is still going. So there's no SAG writers in wrestling.
No, they have their own writers. They're outside of the union.
Wow.
Yeah, they're outside of the
That's
union.
how they did it.
This stuff doesn't stop, bro. Like wrestling does not stop. And even if they have to take creative into the hands of like the wrestling themselves, it wouldn't stop.
Scabbing it away.
It wouldn't stop, bro. Like, hey man, listen.
Scabbing it, picking them scabs.
Yeah, it's outside of the
Jelly,
union.
so what do you think about all of this? And like, you're outside looking in, you're casual in this. This stuff doesn't really mean that much to you.
And I mean, you broke it down too, so it helped me understand why he would say something like that anyways. So I get why he's frustrated, but again, it's like, and this time you don't want to say that out loud because now it's going to bite you in the ass. But I get his frustration, and it sucks that it's happening now, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, this whole thing that people even have to even worry about what they're saying right now. But I honestly think that if they're not supposed to talk about anything, then they shouldn't even be talking to anyone. Because this happened while he was on a panel at a con.
Yeah.
And when you can't talk about your projects and you can't talk about what you're working on, then what the hell are you talking about?
Exactly.
You're just going up there and just going to free willy-nilly it and talk about your politics and your religions and things like that's the kind of stuff that gets you canceled immediately.
Yeah.
So
nobody wants to talk about politics, right?
You know what I mean? So I just think that everyone, not just Stephen Amell, like for God's sake, just stay away from microphones into this thing. And that's coming from us. And we interview you guys. We interview celebrities. We talk to you guys. And I don't mind getting the answer no if it means that reputations are safe and everyone, it can still work, because at the end of the day, it's not worth it, and it's not worth the content for me. Like, if you're not saying something positive or constructive, I'm not posting it. I'm not trying to ruin careers. That's not what I'm in this to do. I'm here to cultivate, the culture and the projects and the art behind it. So yeah, it's just sad that that moment was used, to kind of pick his brain on the his opinion on the thing, because you never know what these guys are gonna say. They're frustrated. They probably woke up early, didn't have his breakfast, and was like, screw this whole thing.
Yeah.
Screw this whole thing. So stay away from the microphones, guys, until this thing is in the clear. So with that down, let's go to the next thing, right? So, and it's related to this because although, we have people like Stephen Amell who, they're not particularly happy with the strike, and he has reasons why, and everyone has reasons why it needs to happen. People are suffering. People are losing money. People may lose their homes. People may lose their cars. People can't pay for groceries. People can't pay for daycare, things of that nature. But some, unlikely heroes have stepped forward to kind of help and ease the situation, which I thought was pretty cool. Because, fair to say, everybody that's on this list, and now you can go to it right now, this list right here, none of these people have to worry about anything.
Yeah, no, they're paid.
Right.
Like, not, Dwayne Johnson doesn't have to worry about.
Julia Roberts.
Yeah, when his
Leonardo
next meal's coming
DiCaprio.
from.
Yeah, Meryl Streep doesn't have to worry
Arnold
about anything.
Schwarzenegger.
Hugh Jackman. And what the significance of this list is these certain individuals, these stars, these A-listers have banded together to donate to SAG's fundraiser that they have, to help this thing keep going, so that the people that are on the picket lines aren't struggling and starving.
Yeah.
They've all each dropped no less. We don't know the numbers precise, but we know it's no less than 7 figures. So each one of them has dropped at least $1 million to the cause, which I thought was like hats off, because you see, these guys know they're well off. They could easily just be sitting in their high towers and thinking like, hey, it ain't affecting me.
Yeah, they can hold off as long as they need to.
It ain't affecting me. You know what I mean? I heard that was it Sandler and Stiller? They joined the picket lines recently. I think.
Yeah.
Sandler and Stiller. I'm pretty sure.
It makes for a great photo op.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, these guys don't need to be there, right?
Yeah.
Like, most of these people here, we probably will not see them. They're holding a sign,
Well, not because
but
they
they're
want to,
doing
they
their
can't,
part.
though.
Yeah, they're doing their part, and this is how you support your fellow actors and writers.
And I don't even think it's because they won't. I honestly think it's because you can't just have Ryan Reynolds hanging on the street.
No, it'll be a
you
scene.
You can't have Dwayne Johnson
No.
just walking down the street. And not only that, some of these guys are still working on projects. Like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are still working on Deadpool 3. If they're out there and something happens,
Right.
like, come on, God forbid.
A lot of people
Stay your asses at home.
Right.
We need that movie done.
Right.
Leonardo DiCaprio, another one. Like, I'm pretty sure he's not walking down the street or going to
No,
Walmart.
dude.
on his own.
These type of people cause a scene when, you know.
Yeah. I would lose my mind if I saw Leo walking down
Really?
the street. Yeah, Leo.
Leo!
Boy,
Leo!
Leo!
Really?
Buddy!
I'll be like, yo, what up? Keep it cool,
I
bro.
would praise that man about Basketball Diaries because he doesn't get enough credit for Basketball Diaries.
Okay.
Should have won the Oscar for that. Jelly, what do you think about this thing going on and these guys, backing each other up and showing solidarity?
No, that's awesome. They believe in the cause.
Yeah. $1 million. Like, can you imagine? Just,
Julia Roberts.
hold that.
Yeah.
Hold that. That's like $10 to them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I'm like, Oprah should be in there. But
Oprah is in there. Yeah,
Oprah's
Oprah.
in
Yeah,
there.
Oprah was
Seth
there too.
MacFarlane,
Seth
yeah.
MacFarlane. Oprah. Come on, Oprah.
I know. That's why I'm like,
Oprah could have matched everybody.
I don't know why. I don't know. Right? I don't know why I thought Tyler Perry was on the list.
He
but
probably is, but I didn't
swore I
see
read
him.
something with him on.
Listen, Oprah. Tyler's on his way to get that Oprah money.
There's a
Yo,
lot of people
he's
out there
real cool.
giving, and hey, man, hopefully we come to a resolution quick.
Well, they're supposed to be meeting tomorrow.
Yeah.
They're supposed to sit down again tomorrow. I don't remember. I think it's with the writers, not the actors. I don't remember. I just know that there's a meeting tomorrow, so there will be a meeting of the minds tomorrow. At least that. These guys need to get this over with because the longer they wait, 2024 and 2025 are going to be rough.
Yeah.
And we're
Yeah.
feeling it too.
There's going to be a lot of reruns.
Yep.
It's going to be a lot of
Repeat.
We're going to have to watch ridiculousness
Practical
more in the Practical Jokers way more than we've wanted in the last 3 years.
jokers.
I'm gonna be in between.
True
love
TV
it.
about to go way up.
I love it.
Oh man, so yeah, let's move on to the last topic. We're gonna skip over that other one because listen, we all know that there's some nonsense going on with Lizzo, and we were gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
honestly, who cares? Who cares? These people are crazy.
Indeed.
I read a tweet about it. I'm like, really? Did that really happen?
It's on that
That
straight
really
level.
happened.
It's so weird. It's like, come on, man.
I'm like, I don't think, no, sir.
Actually, you're
Listen.
keeping on theme here. We talked about strays and then dicks and now Lizzo. Oh, man.
Listen,
She's messing with strays.
whatever goes down with that whole situation, I hope that everyone finds healing, and what's supposed to happen happens. But that's crazy.
The truth will come to
Yeah,
light.
the truth will come to light if that's that's just bonkers, man. Wow. But let's get into some kind of like happy. I don't even know if this is happy news. I mean, it's happy news for
Somebody.
for somebody.
Yeah.
There was an acquisition that just took place, right?
Big money moving.
Big money. And I'm gonna be real, I didn't even know this was a thing. Like, I
Right.
did not know that this one company was owner of said company that was sold. We're talking about Hasbro. Hasbro owned a media company called EONE. It's Entertainment One. It's a production company responsible for Yellow Jackets. I think Woman King.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Woman King.
Yeah. So and I've heard of the company.
Right.
I just didn't know that they were a part of anything that had to do with Hasbro. So when I found out that there was a big acquisition that went down, Hasbro, who originally bought this company for like in the billions, they just sold it to Lionsgate for like $500 million.
What?
That's what I said.
So they took a major hit selling it, but maybe they needed the cash.
Yeah. I'm going to read what the CEO of Hasbro said, though. He said, "This sale fully aligns with our strategy, and we are pleased to bring the process to a successful close." It says, Lionsgate's management team is experienced in entertainment and adept at driving value, and we're glad... Hold on, and I just lost my place because it's loading at the same time. and we're glad to have found such a good home for our E1 film and TV business. So it just sounds like they wanted to just get it off their plate. To me, like, I mean,
yeah, maybe they got this property in their hands and they don't know how to promote. They didn't know what to do with it. Even though they did have a big hit, right, in the last few years, like you mentioned,
HASBRO?
E1.
Oh, E1, yeah, E1.
Yeah.
I mean, but they had
you spoke about Yellow Jackets on Stars, right?
which is a really good show.
It's a
and
good show.
But again, it's streaming. It's not like it's TV residuals or anything
Right.
like that. But
And they had Woman King? Is that what it was?
It's one of their productions.
Yeah. I mean, E1's they got scripted and unscripted television and stuff like that. But it just I just never seen anything like that where, like, you know, they pretty much just gave it away. Like, it's not like how it wasn't producing decent stuff with a value of that thing could have at least stayed.
And how much did they buy it for?
Like $500 million.
And they sold it for.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
they bought it for like a bill.
for the billions. Like, it was like $1 billion, something like that.
And they sold
they
it
sold
for
it for
$5
$500 million. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. They bought it for $4 billion.
Ooh.
And sold it for $500 million.
Yeah,
Wow.
it did sound like they want to get off their place.
So
This ain't working for
they
us.
didn't know what to do with it. They didn't know what to do with
They
it.
probably
They
have
passed
the
it
right
on to
to.
Lionsgate because
No, it's Hasbro. They have properties, licenses, and now you have a studio that you could maybe now.
but
Why not use,
but maybe
invest in yourself?
they don't know what to do on the studio side. You know what I mean?
Other
Like
people
they have the
got $4
IP.
billion.
Well, they are still in production. So there is a partnership with Hasbro and Lionsgate. They're working on a Monopoly movie.
Okay.
Oh.
So they're still in partnership. Maybe it was just a partnership thing. Maybe it was like, you know, they're still in bed with one another, and they just figured they would know what to do with it.
Friends with benefits.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or maybe they still, I don't know, maybe there's still like a portion of it that they own, or I don't know, but for the most, you know, they probably sold shares or sold some of it, because that $4 billion, $5 million, what is that? That doesn't even make any sense.
$4 billion was what Disney bought Star Wars and Marvel for. Imagine them selling it right now for, what is it, like an eighth of that?
That would crush Disney, like literally. I'm scared about that whole Apple thing, because there's like an accusation out there. People talking about Apple's trying to buy Disney. I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean,
is it like, do they have the right
Apple,
vision for
of course
it?
they do. iPhones all through Disney World.
Apple's so like money rich, it's ridiculous.
Oh, they have more money than a lot.
Listen, what they do every time they get a new phone and they add these little different pieces you need to buy that's like $60. Like, I know what y'all doing. I like y'all stuff, but I know what y'all doing.
Listen, Apple's gonna buy Disney, and then you're gonna need an iPhone to go to Disney World.
You need an iPhone just
tickets,
everything.
You got a green bubble in there? You can't come in.
You use your Apple Watch and get on any ride.
Actually, I kind of foresee that if you have the Apple, you get the express lane VIP treatment, and then the Android users will be on the slow lane. Haters.
They're gonna put you guys on the ferry while we're on the monorail.
Wow. He said, you get the pedal bike, these guys ride the Teslas.
So yeah, guys, that's all I have for today at the Klepcx show. I want to thank my man Miggs, and I want to thank the lovely Jelly, and of course my man in the background, Mr. Wade by himself. Comic Crusaders Al Mega, and I want to thank you guys for joining us and tuning in and watching. Just guys, make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, and you comment if there's something in this that we talked about that you have an opinion about, or you thought, you know, we didn't know what the hell we were talking about.
Let us know what you're watching, because I want new shows.
Yeah, put it in the comments,
I need new shows.
guys. I just finished one show. I can use another.
Listen, and I will try to make the time to watch something that you recommend for me if I haven't already seen it. Again, guys, like, comment, share, make sure you subscribe. And for more movie news, television news, and pop culture, check out wearecritics.com. And I will talk to you all later. Peace.